This video will show you the basics of using Google Slides. So let's go ahead and sign in. Click the blue sign in button from google.com. Use your Sheffield student.org account and enter your password here. Now we're going to click on the app launcher icon and go to Google Drive, or you can go to Google Slides directly. I like to go to Google Drive so I can set up a folder and make sure I'm putting my presentation in the proper spot. So I'm going to click the plus new sign to create a new folder, and maybe I will label this one writing. In my writing folder, maybe I'll make a presentation. So I'm going to hit the plus sign again and go to Google Slides. If you click the arrow here, you can select from a blank presentation or from a template. For today's purposes, we're going to do a blank presentation. So first thing you want to do, like any other Google application, is name it. So up here, I'm going to put essay writing. Maybe this will be my little information about essay writing. Then you can start it again and favorite it or move it if you want to put it into a different folder or a different spot in your Google Drive. So one of the first things you might want to do is add a theme to your presentation. You don't have to do this first, but it's kind of nice just to pick a theme and kind of get started. So you can kind of scroll through here and pick one that you would like. I'm going to select this one. All you have to do is click on it and it'll automatically import. If you don't like any of these themes here, you can go to the bottom Import Theme button. Then you can select and import a theme that you've already downloaded. So just like PowerPoint, you will have the same functionality. You go to the plus sign up here or click on the arrow to insert a new slide. If you just click the plus sign, it'll insert a generic basic title slide. But if you go through, then you can select exactly which slide you want to import by clicking on the arrow button. So that's basically the same exact way where it has you would add a slide in PowerPoint. Here you have very similar functionality of all the different options to create a presentation. Let's go through some of the unique features to Google Slides. Similar to the other Google apps like Google Docs and Google Forms and Google Sheets, you have the option to add a comment here. So if I have my slide here started and maybe I want to add a comment to this part, so you highlight the part that you want to add a comment to or add a comment about. Then you go up here and you click the Add Comment little plus sign. And here's when you can add a comment either, like I said before, as a reminder to yourself or as a little editing tool or as a collaboration tool or for your students as feedback. So this commenting tool can be used for various different things. Another similar feature from Slides to Docs and the other Google applications is the Explore button down here. Again, you can find the Explore button through the Tools tab. So if I click on Explore, let's say I want to come up with and find maybe a good graphic organizer for essays. Then I will type that in, and here I can go through and I can kind of search and see. Oh, here it brings me to the website. I click on it and then I can just kind of go through and see if I want to use that. And that's how you can use your Explore tab. Again, remember you can select and search images or search your drive as well. Another feature that is similar to the other G Suite applications is the add-ons. Here you can go to Get Add-ons, and this is where you can really beef up and add a lot of functionality to your presentations here by searching. One of the things I mentioned in the resource guide is Pear Deck, a great way to add interactivity to your presentations for students. So that's another interesting feature of Google Slides. Down here you click to add speaker notes. Again, these are the notes that only you would see when this presentation is in present mode. And speaking of present mode, one interesting thing about Google Slides is up here, if you click the present button, you will have a normal presentation view. But if you click the arrow, you can choose to present with an audience Q&A. So that's one interesting feature of Google Slides here is if you allow students, you can start new. Basically, you have to give them the choice to ask a question. When somebody types in a question, then it would appear here, and then you can choose to answer it or ignore it. Here you will see the speaker notes, if you have any in your presentation. And then on the other student view end, If they ask a question using this URL, they would follow this. So I'll click on it to show you what it looks like. When you ask a question, maybe I would say, when is our first essay due? And you could either ask anonymously or ask with this, with the student's name to be seen. Then once the students post it on their end, they can either thumbs up or thumbs down it, giving it a vote whether or not they have the same question. So if you go back to your presentation view, you'll be able to see this in the Q&A notes. Now there should be a question from a student, right? And here you can see that people have voted on it, whether or not they want or they have the same question. So you as a presenter can then choose to present this question on the screen, and here it is. When is our first essay due? And it was from me, because I'm doing both sides of the student view and the presenter view. And that's basically how your questions, Q&A, would work for Google Slides. Again, in presentation mode, you can actually have the same exact features as you normally would. You have the notes feature, the pointer, which is again a typical pointer. Then you can exit and restart and do all the same kind of things that you can in PowerPoint when you're presenting. So those are the basics of using Google Slides.